Hello and welcome to Beth of Fresh Air. We are having a little bit of technical trouble in the background, but Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you guys have had a beautiful holiday. And we're going to be here for part 3 of our Decult Natural Health little series going on here. And Dagmar is in the back end trying to figure out her sound. You can hear me now. Okay, you can hear me now. Well, let's maybe test the mics and we'll see how it goes. We had some kind of bad feedback. So hold your ears, you guys.
I'm holding my ears too.
Hello.
Do you hear any?
Yeah, it's still echoing.
God, I don't know what to do. Last time we didn't have this problem.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
maybe
Is it my volume? That's too. If I put it on mute.
if you have a headset, that'll create a buffer for the sound. So let's see. I'll take you out while you're troubleshooting.
I'll look for a headset.
Okay. All right, we're back again. That's so strange when you get an echo. It's just kind of thing. Hell probably has an echo, don't you think, if there's a hell? And hello, Miss Stephanie. Nice to have you here. You forgot it was Friday. This was a nice surprise. Yeah, I was debating last night when I was thinking about this because I do consider myself on holidays. I'm rotten at booking off holidays. I don't know what that is because it's the rebel in me that rejects the statutory holidays and the everything's that's going on. And I hope you guys had a nice Christmas. I always want to use a bad word when I describe it. There's of course good things about it. There's something about it that always gets me. So just in case I think I'm so smart and enlightened sometimes, then all you have to do is put me through Christmas. Hell might be eternal Christmas if there is one, which I don't think so personally. But I'd love to hear from you guys how you're doing and what you're all up to there, what plans you might have for the new year coming up while we're waiting for Dagmar to figure out her sound there, which is annoying because it's been different every time. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm assuming you guys can hear me. If you could let me know in the chat, that would be great if the sound is clear. Today, we are going to be going through the remainder of the natural health diets we didn't get to last time in this part 3. And I also was wanting to give a little bit of guidance on how to get through the Christmas eating of things that you don't normally eat or are totally not on your diet or don't make you feel great, and just give you a few tips for that. Welcome, Maya. Glad you're here, and thanks for the feedback. I'm glad that's all clear. So yeah, it'll just be a few minutes while I'm waiting. Also, I'm going to let you guys know that there's only 3 days left to sign up for Creator Code while it is on the early bird savings category. So this is very huge savings right now because not only is it the early bird, but this is the time when I'm going to run it at half the investment. And so if you have been looking at it and you feel like it might be your time to learn how to deprogram and work with archetypes to get your vision on from a really clear place, then now's a good time. So I'm just searching for the link here. There it is. I'm going to share that in the chat, and I am also going to let you know it's in the notes. You can hear me. Great. Hello, Em. Nice to see you. I was thinking about you last night. I hope you had a very good Merry Christmas, whatever that is. I don't know. Thank you very much, Elisa. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's actually some really good stuff coming up in this arrangement. I was interested and kind of pleased in a way and mystified at the same time that a lot of I didn't know the names of any of the natural health systems. I didn't know who created them, but I had taken part in them. In some cases I did, with like David Wolf, I was more familiar with his stuff. But so I got quite a good education from Dagmar on this because she's a better student than I am. I just grab things and run sometimes, although that's less and less the case now. And so Dagmar, you can give me a thumbs up whenever you feel ready. It's not working. Just not working. That sucks. You could try another browser. That's another little hack. Since it has worked before, And I will just double check, but no, it should all be good on my side. I don't see any anomalies of any kind. But do you want to try that, Dagmar? Jump on a different browser? Okay, could work. There's a will, there's a way. My son said, there's a willow, there's a way. And I thought, how perfect is that? Because the willow is a bendy tree, and it will bend to whatever wind and circumstances. And that's how we roll around here, just kind of bendy. Yep, restart. Exactly. When in doubt, restart. We're not unlike computers. And it's not surprising that our brains built and designed computers because there's a lot in common. We store files the same way. And if you don't delete files, then your storage data gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Hello, Quietly Content Bear. I was just thinking about you this morning. Hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Okay, we got Dagmar back. And can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, so let's test your mic. I'm going to bring you on.
All right.
Hello.
Is there an echo?
No.
Oh my God.
I know. That's so exciting. See how that can work? It's just like, I don't know what that is, sorcery or something. So.
You should have seen me. I went through all my boxes and I was like, don't I have a headset?
Just in case you didn't get a workout today, you got it now.
Yes,
maybe a bile dump.
Hello there. Wait, okay, here we go. I'm just looking for, where did I put? I had some fun notes. Oh, this is me and my most organized.
Would you like another minute? I can take you out and just.
Yeah, give me another minute.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and I'm back again. So, what's up with you guys? Did you have a nice Christmas time? And did you cry? I cried. I always cry for some reason. And I want to resort to different things. Like, it's not just the work that I have to do, but that, this is considered to be high ritual time. Is that true? Do we know that? Yes, I love Dagmar's hat too as well. It's been a theme with these last little episodes. Beth Fresher. And I don't know what's up with the crying. There's something that just got me there. I have to do diligence and sit down and really clean up Christmas. I always think I'm clean on Christmas and I go into it kind of happy and light, and then it's just not that for me at all. So, and what do you think, Dagmar? Are you good to go now? Okay, she's and oh, Maya cried. I'm so sorry. Oh, we should have cried together. God. Yeah, I just want to use a bad word, Dagmar.
Oh, good. Yes, let's.
Yes. We're allowed one per episode, so I'll make mine right off the top here. That and it won't be popular. You're not going to love this, but Christmas is a mind fuck. So many levels. Okay, I said it. All right.
Remember what Garrett Smith said, or Dr. Smith, or I don't know what's the formal way of calling him. I keep wanting to say Garrett, but Dr. Smith was talking about in one of the last live stream about how, in a way, it feels like there's some kind of a frequency specifically being set up during Christmas and the holidays, and probably Valentine's too, to hype up the, like, shouldn't you be ecstatic and happy right now?
Exactly. Oh, look, everybody's crying. Or was crying. It's good. I'm not alone. That's awesome. I actually, I'll go a little deep in here because I usually do. I realized that Christmas, and glad it's over. Yep, Stephanie. And I realized that Christmas is the worst setup for one of the programs, probably many or even all, but one in particular. And it seems to go without saying, it's going to be too obvious to say, but there's one of the composite programs. It's rather large. It's got a lot of content in it. It's contains your fear of not surviving, your fear of not being in control, your fear of not being loved, and your fear of not being one. So you can already hear Christmas is kind of wrapped up like a bow in that. And this one says that in the low energy, it says, you're not good enough, or I'm not good enough, pardon me. And you get a little higher up the scale and it points out how everybody else is not good enough. And then you get even higher on the scale and it says, I'm good enough. like this, but it's all the same program. And it's totally a setup, right? When you go to Santa Claus as a kid and they say, have you been good this year? And then the child goes like, oh, program myself, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a day. And there might be some deep meaning in there. I try to remember about Jesus and stuff like that, because that's really supposedly what it's about. But it really is, it gets you at so many levels.
Now, here's a bright side to that, the powerful programming. My sister, who is always on the other side all year long, I'm thinking, was the programming so strong that it actually revised her story? But she called me yesterday, and with the most utter jubilant sincerity, just said that she loves me and that she's grateful for everything I've done. And I was like, okay. And she does watch those Hallmark movies, so I don't know. But there could be a bright side to it, that it brings out the best in some people. So
Absolutely.
you get a peek at who they really are, maybe underneath the usual story.
Yeah. And that's why I say, I'll have to swear again to repeat it. That's why I say mindfuck, because it's not all one way by any stretch of the imagination. If it was all bad, we could all reject it and get on with our lives. But it's not like that. There are times of great love and expression. And thank you, by the way, to the people that did reach out and sent me messages. And on Christmas Eve, I was singing a few silent nights to people in messages, and I felt so warm and fuzzy and all that kind of stuff. And, wrapping up the presents. And then I nearly suicided myself single-handedly creating a turkey dinner for my son and his girlfriend. That was crazy. Like the whole entire day, it was busy, and then right to the last second, they come in the door and everything's out of control. And so I won't do that again.
As you were talking, I'm thinking, well, mindfuck or mind training, because there's also, it really brings out the paradox in life. Like you were saying, like it's good, it's not good, it's not bad, it's not great. It can be either. And in a way, that's one of the things that drives people crazy in normal life. That they want it to be one way. They want the one solution, the one problem, because it's so much easier, but to kind of just be able to sit in kind of the paradox, the contradiction, which is very strong during these holidays, but it's also going on all the time, even when it's not Christmas. You think like, just like what, as we're talking about these diets, some part of the diet sometimes does something amazing and you feel something amazing. And then the next day it does something horrific. And you kind of have to see, what's the truth in between there. Only because it's your body and you can feel, because sometimes you can be feeling like something got worse, but something else got really better. So you kind of track it,
Totally. So one of the things that I promised was to give a few tips for people that might have eaten the wrong things or eaten unusual things. Yeah. And they don't feel good, and maybe their gut goes off, and it can stay off. If my experience in the past has been any indication, when I go off, then it's like, oh, I'm in it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, depending on how badly I overdid or did the wrong thing. And I didn't suffer this time. I didn't have any big cravings. I did have a tiny little bit of this treat and that treat, with no repercussions of any kind. So that was pretty fun. And but if you did get yourself to a place of indigestion and feeling like things aren't working tickety-boo anymore, what would be one tip from you, Dagmar?
Charcoal.
I know. Yeah, that's my
You
top.
know, like
Top
a
of the line.
charcoal and a nice enema, perhaps. Perhaps you care to have an enema after Christmas?
Exactly. I
Or
know.
a nice little charcoal cocktail?
Yeah. Yeah, they're a bigger joy than Christmas is for me, I have to tell you. It's so so funny. And then just to up your ante on the charcoal, you can do charcoal sandwiches where you have the charcoal. Now it is activated charcoal, and this is also going to be from a hardwood source rather than a bamboo is
Coconut.
actually best, but you don't want coconut. And so if you take the activated charcoal before you have the treat, and then you take some after you have the treat, then you've got a really good chance at it just grabbing, absorbing all of those toxins that are in the food. So, yep, really good. And a magnesium bath never hurts. Indeed, Maya, you are correct. And yum yum. Yeah, it's actually strangely, it might be because I have it when I need it. I like that feeling in my mouth. It's a little bit like chocolate. Don't you find that?
Yeah, which are you talking about? Magnesium?
Charcoal.
Oh, charcoal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I kind of like it too now.
Right. Yeah, because chocolate has a graininess to it, and so
Mhm.
the charcoal is even more grainy and crunchy. Like if you put it in your teeth, you can feel that. But
You know, what I do is also, I add just a tiny dash of honey or maple syrup, which kind of softens it. It
ah,
actually, putting anything in the water, I learned this when my mom was making her transition. The hospice nurses said, "Oh, put some honey in her water because it actually thickens the water so people can swallow it easier rather than in getting." And I noticed that just putting something in the water, besides the charcoal, but the honey does something that makes it, I don't know, just special.
also that, yeah, rather than the black water. That was fun because I did have a Christmas party long before Christmas because of the timing, and we're all into Garrett's work. So in the Love Your Liver, and most all of us, and so we all ended up having the post charcoal drink for dinner. And I just thought, like, what a classy host I am, bringing everybody their black cup of it just looks beautiful. Me and my black muffins, it looked like they got burnt. And Maya added, yes, potassium also, because you can, that's what the thing about electrolytes is, that if you get a whole lot of one, you're going to need more of the others because you're throwing them out of their own balance. So
Mhm.
that's another thing that I'm hip to now. When I want to junk out on potassium, which I do sometimes, then I have to up the magnesium and the sodium, not to get
Mhm.
the other two out of balance. Do you have any experience around that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like that guy that Dr. Smith was interviewing. I forgot his name, but he was talking about how he takes really large doses of potassium every day. Um, I
Oh,
think
yes.
that he was really amazing. Robert something, I forgot.
He was
Uh,
a gooder.
it was a really, really good one because he really geeks out on the science like Kelsey, and he brought just fun stuff to the conversation. But I mean, yeah, with potassium, I just feel like, yeah, I have to up the magnesium, but I'm noticing the more I do the MSG, even the less salt. Like he suggests doing 3 times the amount of potassium to salt, 3 to 1, as opposed to 1 to 1, the way we do the 50/50 salt. And I can totally see that because I love the flavor of potassium. So
I know. It is a yum, yum, yum for me right now. And I bet there will come a time where it doesn't taste good because I don't need nearly as much. I was going to say also, I wonder if xylitol would be a nice add to the charcoal because it's,
no, it
no,
does.
does it?
I tried it,
Yeah.
and the xylitol just disappears. So you really
Doesn't,
have to add a lot to
doesn't retexturize. Got it.
to to taste it, to actually taste any sweetness. I just do the little bit of xylitol every night before I go to sleep, or if I do wake up once or something to go to the bathroom, I put a little bit of just pure birch xylitol in my mouth, swish it around, and spit it out. And it really, keeps the bacteria nicely balanced. and your whole mouth hydrated.
Right, right. Fascinating. Yeah, but I use xylitol because it keeps down the off-gassing. What is it? Ammonia. Your body produces ammonia when you, not off-gas, but when you're detoxing. And then so that for me would result in sweating at night and hot flashes and stuff like that. So I went hard on the xylitol for some months, maybe 2-3 months, and then I stopped needing it. My body woke up to maybe producing more of its own xylitol, which it does.
The whole thing of hot flashing, I've had thoughts about that recently, and I'm sure this is nothing new to anybody in the Love Your Liver program, but just really grasping that because I've been upping my MSG, and I feel amazing, but another part of me feels obviously something's going on because I'll get like a sudden hot flash. And I'm like remembering, I'm hearing Kelsey and Garrett saying that you need warmth, heat to create a chemical reaction. So if suddenly the MSG is causing a bunch of stuff to be dumped and it's going into my blood because my ducts still aren't, working properly, that just feeling that heat that's coming in to create the chemical reaction to transform that particular toxin to its next chemical level so that it can do its steps to slowly come out of the body. So I felt like, that is worth the squeeze for me. Like, okay, so a little bit of that, because it's not bad. It's something that I can easily live with, but it made me think of the times when I actually was getting hot flashes and had no idea what it was. And I wish there was some way we could change the language and not use the words that are given to any kind of diagnostic words, because they have so much association, like that it's something done, when they say the C word, or when they say, I don't know, name any disease, diabetes, you hear the sound and it's like, yes, this is what diabetes is. It's like so solid, whereas it's actually such a moving thing. It's just some toxicity level that your body is really just desperately found a way to deal with it, and you get these so-called symptoms of detox, which is the disease.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to reframe every time I catch myself saying, diagnostic words, that it's really not all that fancy, that it's not that solid either, that this is very movable.
Exactly. Yeah, you're almost better off speaking in symptoms rather than names of diseases, which I often don't catch on to, which is my rebel brain rejects them and won't learn the disease because it's not really founded. I was just going to respond also. How are we getting our magnesium and potassium? So I personally, there's a lot of variations, but personally, I get along well with potassium chloride and magnesium chloride. Now, you don't want magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salts. You don't want to take that. They are poisonous. And I had a direct experience of my very last Epsom salt bath. I felt terrible after.
Oh.
And then, yeah, the glycinate is another option. I'm not sure about the potassium, but magnesium glycinate. You don't want it orally, you want it topically. So the chloride, I think, I don't know, is it the best absorbing? That's the most classic one used in magnesium oils and sprays. And potassium, you can do citrates. I keep experimenting with citrates, but that sets off my copper. And I can get away with it for a couple of 3 days, and then it's like, whoop, we're not, sleeping as well, more hot flashes. And at this stage of the game, I don't want anything to interfere with my sleep if at all possible, because I've been having these rock star sleep through the entire night with no bathroom trips. Wow, I never thought I would get
Oh
back
my
there.
God.
I know. There's happiness between that, and I was joking to myself, between that and pooping good, that's like heaven.
Happiness.
I know.
Just one thing to add to the citrates. I mean, yeah, we might have to do another show, but like the magnesium citrate, the potassium citrate, they are good. Like, let's say if you get too acidic and you can see your way too acidic, because they can make you a little more alkaline. And they're also, the citrates are really good for helping to melt down if you have any like kidney stones or gallbladder type stones. So, it's a dance. You have to try it. You have to try. For me, the magnesium pitilate has made a huge, huge difference. Because for me, the magnesium chloride was a little too drying, but I still do it, but not as much. I don't do as much. So I kind of mix it up, and the magnesium pitilate is way more hydrating for me, and it works well with my intestines. And I do a cross between potassium citrate and potassium chloride. And then I try to get as much potassium as I can with food. Which,
Nice.
Yeah.
And the magnesium pitilate, you use it both topically and orally, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm using the potassium chloride topically now too. So I mix the potassium chloride with the nutrition detective magnesium oil. So now I get those really work for me. Like, I feel that absorbs really well, or maybe just my skin is so starved that it's just like really absorbing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I found a new way to make magnesium oil is you leave a, if you want to make a half a cup of the magnesium chloride, just leave it out on the counter. It attracts water over time and turns to a very thick, almost viscous liquid. And it's a bit too thick, so I cut it with a bit more water and the potassium chloride to mix in there, and it's really perfect. And it doesn't sting with the potassium. So if anyone has trouble with that, having magnesium chloride on their skin, it's much less so.
Yeah, it doesn't sting. We have to remember to ask Kelsey about, because I know that if you add hot water to any of these, it's a big part of the ionizing, turning it into an ion instead of, that's a big part of it. So I wonder what the difference is if you leave it out and you're just absorbing water from your surrounding air and then putting some clean distilled hot water in there. Like, I wonder what I can't remember my organic chemistry class.
Yeah, we'll have to ask her and see if there's implications there. It should be ionic regardless once it connects with water, but I don't know the ins and outs there, and heat can be a factor there. Emil, nice to have you here. I'm going to pick on you a little bit here. So I tried hard to get the ratios of electrolytes out of Garrett, for example. And he went hard back at me by saying, you have to find your balance. So there are some general guidelines. Now he's saying like 3-to-1 potassium, sodium, you're saying 5-to-1. So we can tell maybe in general, you need more potassium than you need sodium. The more sodium chloride you get, likely that you're increasing your needs for potassium and magnesium by doing that. So it's not really a favor to junk out on that stuff. But it's your own balance, right? We're in the world of zero protocols. There's no protocols. It's the hardest thing. People like literally bang their head and run away sometimes. I had a dear colleague, past student, come back into the LYL recently, and it's been about 6 months. And then she's like, oh my God, I still need you, or I need you guys. And it's a lot to think about, having to work out every little thing, but you do, and I have, and it's a moving target. So I can't just go to sleep now as if now I have a protocol for me. I don't. It's not like that. It's a moving target, and I have to keep paying attention, and I have to keep adapting.
I mean, what better way to live? Because it's so true to how we actually are, because change is constant. It's constantly happening. So we have so many survival mechanisms to kind of like close our eyes, oh no, nothing's, I'm still the same. Why can't I do what I did when I was 18, when I did that exercise and my muscles became so strong with just 2 weeks? It's like, no, you're different now. This is people always saying like, "Well, this worked really well." And
I
I
know,
don't
I know.
understand why it's not working now.
Exactly, and then when it worked well, you established a belief and it went forward into the future with that belief, and it's, really hard to detach from those kind of things. So Quietly Content Bear is asking about, honey is a 4 times prepper supply, never goes bad, 2 antibacterial wound treatment,
Mhm.
3 sweetener, and it's easy to digest, 4 can be used to preserve food and meats. There you go. Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's good to get honey though that that is not high in pollen, because it's the pollen that makes it high in the
Is it
yellow pollen.
Is it not also that it's full of aldehydes?
Yeah, you mentioned that last time. It probably is, but not yeah, I don't know. We have to confirm that.
Yeah,
Same
depends
with
on how
maple
much you
syrup.
eat.
I mean, anything sweet, is gonna go to some kind of an alcohol.
Exactly,
So,
that's it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and, I personally do ingest the xylitol,
Yeah, I do too
A4IM11. Yeah, I put it in the black banana muffins, so I don't have to remember to use it, and then if there's any sign of eating wrongs, like I had a little chocolate yesterday. And so I took the xylitol before I went to bed, and it seemed to be good,
Mhm.
although I hot flashed this morning, so I think that was my chocolate right there. Yeah, because I wasn't stressed at all. It was just my body like, "Ooh, fire," which happens so rarely, it's almost gone.
Yeah.
And I said potassium chloride and pure salt 50/50 with food, and magnesium chloride is a form of spray topically also. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Thoughts on the we can't say this. Wait, is that the
So
one we can't say?
thoughts on oh, yeah, no, that we can't
We
say
don't say that. We can't say
we
these
don't
things
say
here.
that word.
Yeah, yeah, it's strikeable. So, we won't talk about it just in case. Oh, Janet, nice to see you. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say that I've had it for a long time. I still haven't used it,
Mhm.
um, but I do know that it can be helpful, to people who are doing nothing else,
Yeah.
or if nothing else works, but I still that would be like my last go-to.
Okay, and we're clearly talking here about a C and a D, correct? We have to talk in code.
Mhm.
Okay. And so this I'll just add that it is a Band-Aid. And you need a Band-Aid sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a very intense oxidizer. I know I took it in Mexico last year when I was sick. Some friend gave that to me. I got way sicker after. I
Mm.
did not need an oxidizer at that point. My body was full on like, just exploding in oxidation. So that was a problem for me. I probably won't touch it personally. I don't end up needing a lot of Band-Aids these days and can get through things in some gentle ways. So yeah, let's drop that topic just in case because I really don't like having my streams taken down. And borax is definitely a poison. Okay, poison, poison, and more poison.
It's along same as DMSO,
Mhm.
same as turpentine, I mean, there's people who put turpentine on a cube of sugar and they swear they become flexible and all kinds of things happen, but yeah, you poisoned yourself. So and you
Yeah.
stopped your bile production, so of course you feel pretty darn good.
So I have a lifetime supply of organic turpentine now because I pre-ordered thinking it was going to go if you have one thing in your medicine cabinet it would be this and I think
We
top
I'm sorry, Beth, but
yeah
I'm just thinking we must have heard the same podcast several years ago because same thing. I was like, "Oh, that and DMSO and the other one, which we shall not name. We must have it in your
exactly.
survival kit."
I know I still have like literally a half a gallon of DMS. So I bet it's gone bad already. And yes, Jackie, the borax is only fit for the washing machine. You got it. And it was supposed to be the antidote for is that one? Come on, little doggy. Sometimes StreamYard spurges on me. There we go. borax was supposed to be an antidote for the nanobots. Yeah, that's. I found nanobots. I was so mad when they were talking nanobots that I decided to do an experiment at home and look under the highest magnification I could find on Snapchat, which is what I ended up using to look at water, and I used borax to kill what I found, which I did not expect to find them. I just wanted to debunk what I thought was crap going around on the internet to scare us. And I tested 9 out of 10 masks, both the, what do you call them, like 9N1, M1 or whatever those are called. I don't know, the surgical masks. And I tested a few, at the time, cloth masks, because my son was sadly wearing them to school for a short time. I found worms in practically every mask that I tested. I have friends that did a bunch of tests and they didn't find them. So who knows? And I started wondering if we're actually infested with it from China, from everything that comes from there. They were more like nanobots, though. They weren't squiggly little worms.
Well, yeah, that was my question is, were they the actual moving little fibers like the Morgellons fibers?
Yeah.
Or were they actually like a worm with eyes, and a whole biological thing? I think that they were just, the squiggly magnetic things that move, but they don't move because they're alive. They just move because they're responsive to anything that comes near them. I think it's just like a frequency thing.
Yeah, who the heck knows? And yet, when I put borax in the water after, and then I filmed again, zero movement. No movement whatsoever. And this isn't just heat convection and all of that kind of thing, because it would persist over time. And after, because I did use warm water at the beginning, not boiling or anything like that. So
I thought you said warm water. Oh, you mean warm water. I got you.
yeah. I got videos of this stuff, and it was horrifying, literally. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess how do we know what the heck it is? It could just be something to scare us and to have people go insane. All the conspiracy people be like, "Oh my God, I saw it. It's terrifying." We don't know if it actually is terrifying, or if it's just an illusion, or if it's just like a parlor trick. The way magicians can make things appear and disappear.
I don't know. I was pretty scientific about that experiment, so I didn't want to find them. I wasn't thinking I was going to at all. That was a major surprise for me. I was horrified. And then looks like Maya's saying this is not C and D, so that's different. So yeah, we'll go off that topic because I don't really know much about it. And Lisa said, now I can become a painter. You also, oh, right, exactly, with all the turpentine. That's what my grandma used it for. Exactly.
Oh,
You
right.
got it. Yeah, I wonder if I could even dissolve some of the old paint. She left me her paints and her paint box and her easel and everything like that. But of course, all the paints now have become kind of solid. So that's what you use turpentine for. I shouldn't say that word either. That's a buzzword. Darn it.
Oh, it is? Oh, come on.
Yeah, because they really tried to suppress it, apparently. All right. Well, I might not be able to do anything with my mouse for a while here.
We're talking about art, so of course you can talk about paint, and that makes sense.
Something I know. It's just dumb. And yeah, so I think that's a sulfur thing. Yeah, we've said it a bunch of times here, Janet, but the DMSO is not healthy for you. There might be applications where, and I think, more on a topical thing, but not on an ongoing basis where you're putting sulfur into your body and then you're tasking your detox system to move that sulfur out, because it is actually poisonous, just like garlic and onions. Anything you want to add?
Yeah. Particularly DMSO, like garlic, it goes through the blood-brain barrier. I've said this before on your show, that before they had autopilot on airplanes, they would make them not eat any garlic before flying, because the garlic would go through the blood-brain barrier and their reflexes would be slowed down by about 100.
There you go. And that's why in India they say don't eat garlic if you want to have a good awareness practice, because it
Mhm.
makes you a little more dumb,
Yeah, it
to say
slows you
the least.
down, and
Yeah,
it goes through the blood-brain barrier. I mean, it's like a cell phone. You know, you don't want anything going through that. I mean, you don't want the things that are like poisons and heavy metals going through your blood or whatever medicine you're on. You don't want it going in there. Which
exactly.
is the same thing that they use the 5G for in medical, procedures, where they want to open the blood-brain barrier and open the cells so that whatever poison they put in you will go all the way and target the bad cells. Um, so,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So apologies, we're going to keep talking. I can't take the comment down for right now because this guy is getting
Mhm.
finicky on me. Might be time to replace a bunch of stuff around here. Synthetic biology is the new AI bubble. Yep, true. And let's see. Dan Winter claims garlic prevents your hemispheres from communicating. Fascinating. Okay.
Oh, what
All
was
right.
that?
So Dan Winter claims garlic prevents your two hemispheres from communicating.
Oh, that's interesting.
I
Wow.
am smarter now after a year of not eating garlic. I definitely, but I also attribute that to the MSG. And because that's when I really noticed it when I started taking MSG and then the L-pyroglutamic acid. So, yep, save your money. Exactly, Jackie. All right. Well, we have to keep talking. Well, we got this comment up, makes it look a little weird, but shall we get into our list?
Sure.
It's
Let's
like
get in.
Christmas. We have a list,
Yes, we got a list.
and I have no mouse. Oh, that's
Oh,
awkward.
you have no mouse. Oh, I see. Oh, bad.
Yeah,
Um, where did we leave off? Was it the green smoothie thing?
I think that was our last one. Yeah. So can you see the next one?
The next one is the healer's protocol.
Okay.
A
The healer.
fascinating diet. I was so drawn. I just the word diet. It has the word "die" in it. I just know.
Yes.
How interesting. Um, so the healer's protocol is. I was drawn to it because the guy who created or who's the head of it, his name is Darko Velchek. He's a fellow Slav. So I was like, oh, look, a fellow Slav is gonna, I'm gonna share some knowledge. And the basis of it is salt water. It's all about plasma. It's that the idea is that we are so low on plasma. That's why we're not healing. That's why we're sick. And so it's eating mostly meat, but yes, on dairy and lots of salt water, like crazy amounts of salt water. And oh my God, I did that for quite a while before I just had a major like bile dump. I didn't know that then. I just thought I was gonna die. I
Ah,
couldn't like walk for we and I couldn't eat for a couple of weeks, and every time I called him and go, "What's going on?" He's like, "You need more salt water. That's your problem." And I'm going, "But I feel like I couldn't even straighten out my body because I was obviously the bile was burning my intestines so bad that I it was in so much pain, and I hope to never do that again. But, it sounds all good, and he's got really clever ideas um, and also milk is allowed because he sees milk as a form of plasma, like white blood. So of course, that was what did me in. I'm trying to think what was the main thing. Well, and talk about throwing off your potassium. And also the kind of salt, all those expensive salts that come from, Baja California or from Hawaii or from even from Iceland, all these, sea salts that are full of hundreds of different uh, uh, minerals,
trace
uh,
minerals.
yeah, basically poisons. It's not pure sodium chloride like what we're doing now. Um, I mean, or doing the Himalayan salts or any of those. Actually, he had people not do Himalayan because he said it had rust in it. So he got some things right. Um, He had many things right, but he was completely off, on the salt water. And he was a vet. That's what he was. He was a vet, and then he was working with people, and now he lives in South America. Um, so that was, I mean, I actually really got someone else into a lot of trouble with that diet. Somebody who had been a drug addict in the past, and he started doing this, and he literally started to have um, like almost schizophrenic symptoms because he was doing the milk and also eating lots of bacon and and fish and things like that. Um, so yeah, it we think, oh, it's just a diet, and with these all these diets, some of them, it's if you were just doing kind of a blend of nothing too extreme, just kind of going the middle road, you'd still be better off than just doing one of these, like, which is just like, just do this, like the epi-paleo diet that Jack Cruz, he's the like him and Dave Asprey are the original gangsters of biohacking. This whole
Before,
concept of biohacking,
yeah,
hack
but
biohack your way.
before we go on, I just wanted to comment on a few things.
Yeah, please do.
And then, so to emphasize the saltwater thing, because I have a friend who suffers a great deal, and they rely on saltwater flushes to go to the bathroom,
Mhm.
and it's absolutely ruined. I mean, I can't speak. I shouldn't say that so intensely, but it has as far as I can tell, compounded the problem over time.
Mhm.
Really compounded. And I did an experiment one time with it just to see for myself, and I saw it literally knocked me over. I had to lay down for a couple of hours after I did that. That's how badly, and then start getting my electrolytes back in balance and come to, and but it can be addictive because your body will depend on that compared to something like a niacin enema that I've never developed
Mhm. Mhm.
anything for. And then, yeah, those trace minerals in the salt, they say, oh, 80 trace minerals, 160 trace minerals. Is are you like, but then you look at the ingredients, and it's arsenic, and it's metals, and it's all of these poisons are in there. And then they have to resort to, oh, poison's in the dose. It's just a little bit of poison. And where we're at in the world, we might have been able to get away with that. But now we're under such assault every single day. Some of us have lived long enough to accumulate great deals of poison in our lives. That can be edgy too. So why would you want to risk getting things that you definitely don't need? And then I think we talked about how they found shrimp in those salts, and there
Mhm.
is a lawsuit against the Celtic Sea Salt Company, and I believe that's a class action lawsuit. So that's not a little thing. And it's not easy to get a class action lawsuit going. I know that for a fact.
It's interesting how, if you think about, there isn't really that much difference between the addiction to coffee, so that you make yourself go to the bathroom, and the addiction to the salt water. Because yes, that was his purpose. He had one thing right. He thought that we should be, pooping regularly, and that's, you know, drinking a thing of salt, heavy duty salt water in the morning. Yeah, you will run to the bathroom, but it is not a healthy way. It's like it has so much push and fight or flight in it, and there's nothing life affirming or harmonizing with the body in it. To have extreme diarrhea is not a good way to live. you
Exactly,
know.
exactly.
Um,
Although I give that to myself, it's a similar outcome when it comes to the niacin enemas, but the proof is in the pudding how I feel after it. I feel like $1,000,000, and I do
mhm,
believe I'm healing my gut much more quickly getting that niacin in there, because
mhm.
I'm not, I mean, touch wood, I'm not having any extreme bile dumps of any kind, or even little ones that are showstoppers, or I don't feel good, or I'm tired, or
Showstoppers.
kind of thing. And I have a mouse again. Yay. I know another mouse in the house. I've said, I don't have another mouse. I'm kind of mouse. I'm a one mouse woman. And,
That's
and
kind
that's
of
your sign to
girl you
stop
are.
commenting so much. That's hilarious. Because we heard a comment up. Let's see. I thought I missed something. Alternative uses for the DMSO. Yeah, I'm looking for that too. Please tell me. Like the salt, I think I'll put it on my driveway so we don't slip, and salt is good for that. I don't know. I don't know what to do with the DMSO.
It's
Sad.
good for washing garlic off your hands. When I used to eat garlic, the trick is you then you don't wash your hands, you just put salt on your hands and the smell goes completely away.
Oh,
So
you
it
put
takes
salt, but we're talking DMSO here.
Oh, you're talking DMSO. Well, I'm just thinking another good use of salt. It's like one
Okay.
poison to destroy another.
Ah,
The salt and the garlic, that absorbs it completely.
okay, fantastic. That's good. And yeah, Jackie got the book and was about to. So you're smart. You didn't actually get the thing. I don't know why I got the mother load of it. It was almost got a gallon. Let's see. I think we're getting caught up. You're converting your best friend. You convinced your best friend to buy a gallon for his apothecary. Oh yeah, I know. I
Mhm.
know all the advice that I'm so glad I didn't really give because I was never really sure enough. I was always in the experimental phase. Okay, well, I'll try this and I'll try that and I'll keep trying. Oh, that doesn't work. Try something else. I've never really until now got to a place where I had any confidence around sharing something. Hello, JJ Hempcrete. Nice to see you, Mr. Bear. There. And yeah, we're all caught up. Good. And I have a mouse again.
Yay.
Yay, that is good. All right. And I can look at our list. What is it?
The next one is
Jackie?
urine therapy.
Oh no, urine therapy. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah. I guess Dr. Group is the most popular one. Well, that one was interesting. So there is something to it in the sense that I remember. Now I never did a lot of it, but I started with like a very tiny drop, and I had quite a profound experience with that because there was something about that. I mean, it literally felt like my whole life flashed before me. Now I don't know if it was because my urine was so toxic or because just getting the DNA, giving a message to my mouth as to what is going on with my body. I kind of like that concept because it really worked well for me when I started the toxic bile paradigm practice. In the beginning, I would just, I know it's kind of gross, so pardon me, but I would just take a tiny dab of taste of what my urine would taste like. And in the beginning, it was bitter as hell. And that's how I know I've progressed as I, knew what to do and got all kinds of counsel from Kelsey and from Dr. Smith. I was able to, find a way to detox slower and in a way that didn't put my kidneys through so much. And that was fascinating. And then when I realized, like, oh my God, I actually drank some of this before. So I was really just re-drinking all the poisons that I was trying to get out of my system. And also, I'll get back to the urine therapy when we get to the low oxalate diet, because that also is so. I think it makes sense if you're living 200 years ago in a country that, has bad sanitation and no medical practices. I'm sure it was helpful, to collect the family's urine and use it as a kind of a medicine. And the one thing that I take away from that whole practice was that now I know that if I ever get bitten by a snake or poisonous scorpion, I know immediately drink my urine, even if it does have whatever else in it. It's worth it because the body apparently makes the antibodies right away. So you could save your life that way. So
Right.
that was my yay. got something from this.
Nice. And JJ cured his athlete's foot topically. So, yeah, I don't think it's completely out to lunch or a psyop or anything.
No, no.
As you mentioned, it comes from India. It's an Ayurvedic offshoot, as the note that you left me, and then the cultural context of India. You're dealing with incredible poverty, and you're also dealing with a population that has a very low protein intake in general. So it's possible that they're actually reclaiming some of the proteins that they're
Mhm,
they're peeing
mhm.
out, and then that in and of itself has many good health benefits. And I noticed personally that it was energizing. So if I
Relating.
if
Mhm,
I drank urine before bed, I would not be able to sleep. Now, this actually could give credence to the toxic levels in it, because
mhm,
poisons are a stimulant.
mhm,
Right,
mhm.
so we think of energy as good, whether it came from caffeine or cocaine or whatever, right? We're
Mhm.
just like thinking, "Woo, this is better than rolling on the floor with your eyes unable to open," but that possibly could be. Now this was is we're like not gonna worry about being gross anymore. This is the year where I'm gonna have zero apology for saying something like poop or urine or whatever. But the taste was so interesting to me because it would change from day to day, and
Mhm.
it was like some kind of code or download. Now, it's not so interesting that I wanna keep doing it. It was an experiment. I didn't notice enough benefit to give any, idea to keep doing it. I agree topically, there's times to do it. I have friends that swear about putting it on their skin, and they never need to use any moisturizer at all. I don't wanna smell like urine though, and that's the problem. Like, I just don't like it.
Well, yeah, and yeah, getting back to the taste, there were times where you could really experiment with what you ate, and then there were times when my urine was like, "Oh my god, this is the most amazing taste," like, "What happened?" And then it's very intimate, actually.
It
It's
really
very
is.
intimate act of connecting with yourself and not going, "Ew," you know, uh, and I don't think you have to actually drink it, but just the taste of it, you kind of get to see what's going on. And as far as topical, yes, oh my god. I mean, when I did that on my face, I didn't need anything because it was like retin-A. I think that's why it works so well is because, it's got all the stuff that they put in those creams that we're trying to get out of our system. So, yeah, it definitely makes your skin amazing. So, if just for pure vanity, I mean, or for, if you really are in an urgent situation and you have nothing else, great. I mean, all these things have something in them that's useful, and they could be useful at certain times. Like, I imagine maybe in 5 or 7 years, when I've really let go of a lot more of the copper and the retinol, that putting my urine on my face might be pretty awesome, you know?
Right,
And you
right.
don't have to leave it on, like
Oh,
like
okay,
like Amanda, just
right.
start this.
But then your face is dry again because you wash it, and then it'll be dry. But, anyway.
But what one interesting thing is, though, speaking about pheromones, every time I did do that, and it was about a year and a half or so that I was doing that, and I would put it on my face, and I didn't wash it off, but like clockwork, every time I was near a man, or sometimes women too, but mostly men, they'd be like, "Wow, what's you smell amazing." And I didn't have the heart to say what it was, but it transforms into something else, you know? If it smells really bad, then obviously you're not doing well, but there's something about pheromones in that, so
Okay,
just
okay.
saying.
Alright, there you go. That's interesting. Jackie K's got her lifetime supply, TMSO.
Oh god.
Yeah, yeah. At least you didn't use it. I coulda already consumed a half a gallon, and that would have been a worse mistake. You wouldn't drink it, you said that, and, good for emergency. Yep. And urea is in many skin creams. And yeah, after Dr. Smith's live stream this week, all of those sorts of pharma versions are gross. Maybe I lost the plot here, what they're talking about. I don't know. You guys can remind me if you want. Alrighty, so let's see. Yeah, and I also they say there's so much research, but as far as I can tell, there's one book by one guy who had a lot of anecdotal evidence. It's something, but it's not medical research, right? That it's now we know the difference, and this is the thing that I wouldn't hang my whole life on this that has been passed down. And people will say, "Oh, well, the deer drinks their own urine, but do you follow that deer around all the time? You don't know what, or like, were they literally starving for water? And so you don't really know the context of that or how often that's happening. So yeah, I'm a little skeptical with that. It really is put out as a kind of cure all you need to do, just drink your urine, drink that aged urine, age it. And that you hear this kind of rhetoric, just drink your urine, put urine on it. It's a urine fix. And I did it, Kelsey did it, you did it, Garrett did it, and didn't notice much.
Well, maybe can I jump over now to the oxalate diet?
Sure.
Because it is kind of related to that.
Sure.
It was at that diet, which I did for about 4 years. Well, I'm actually still doing it. That when I actually started to, because I didn't have a proper bathroom in my living space, so I would always pee in a glass jar and then go outside and spill it out. So I got to study my pee for years. And when I started the low oxalate diet, I started like dumping crystals. I would have this cloudy urine and you could watch and see. And I'm going, why would I want to drink these, oxalate crystals? Calcium oxalate is really, so it's cloudy, it's white, it looks milky, and sometimes you can't see it right away. You have to let it sit for, maybe about half an hour or something, and then you see it. And I know some people who were on that diet with me and who were serious eaters of liver and the agenous diet. They were peeing out things that look like sand. So like the diets got more interesting the moment I hit the plant paradox diet, which is Dr. Gundry. That all of it was slowly, each one was kind of building on the other, and they were all very slowly pointing to kind of the reality, snapping me kind of out of this daydream of like all, vegetables are good for you, all exotic fruits are great for you because they're, or all ancient fruits or things that are more exotic, more wild are much better for you. And so I slowly started to grasp like, oh my God, wait a second, lectins? What? And then oxalates? What? Salicylates? All these other things kept kind of piling up. And I'm going, this is interesting. Why did I never know this? I've heard of nightshades, but I never took it seriously, so.
Do you want to go back to the oxalates and just like rattle off what are the highest oxalate foods?
So the highest oxalate in the plant world would be spinach and rhubarb. And there used to be times when women, if they were not happy with their husbands, they could basically kill their husbands by making them rhubarb soup and making them eat more than 2 bowls. So they would get heart attacks, or rhubarb pie. And it's well known historically that in England, when they were, when rhubarb season was there and you'd have rhubarb everything, that people would get angrier, grumpier, more homicides, suicides. And the way the oxalates were discovered was that they had to, what do you call the coroner, the person the pathologist, they had to know whether it was a natural cause of death or it was oxalate related heart attack or a natural, well, there's no natural heart attack, but you know what I mean. And so that's how they found the oxalates it was in, what is that? Sorrel was the first plant. Sorrel, that plant that they use a lot in France. Extremely high, like sorrel soup could also out your husband.
That's crazy. Yeah, like the year that I had a breakdown, I was juicing rhubarb. I graduated from just eating it to juicing it, meaning you're gonna, take in much greater contents
Well, and
at the same time. And then sorrel, I was so happy with myself. I learned how to grow sorrel, and I would just eat gobs of that. It tastes like lemon, but I
yeah,
get it
yeah,
now. So yeah, I killed myself with oxalates. Wow.
yeah.
Spinach I gave up on. I didn't really like it, and then I heard that it's a highly hybridized food, so not really a high quality anyway. But what other foods we got? We got a lot of nuts in the high oxalates.
Yeah, all the nuts, especially almonds. So the one thing, when you juice something or
Mhm.
blend something that's high in oxalates, it becomes way more deadly.
Wow.
So like, juicing the rhubarb, you're actually squeezing out the oxalic acid. It's sort of like the cod liver oil is worse than just the liver, you're just squeezing it out. Like almond milk, terribly high in oxalates. Um, in the fruit world, um, that's the high.
Kiwis.
Kiwi is one of the highest, and all those exotic ones like dragon fruit and all those weird things from different countries. Um, yeah, those are also very high oxalate.
They
What
gave us a sign in the name, the dragon fruit, eh? You shouldn't really want to eat a dragon or a fruit of a dragon.
Right. Well, that's just one of the things in it, or like the goji berries. I mean, they also have high A and all kinds of phenols. I mean, they're, the strong colored ones.
Oranges
Then
too, Jackie said.
what?
If she's talking about oxalates, oranges too?
Um, Oranges, they're not as high in oxalates, but they are very high in A. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was doing oranges for quite a while there thinking, oh, because Agenus had this formula that it was his libido formula when you combine oranges with avocados.
Alrighty.
All right.
Everybody's black pilled about rhubarb.
Oh my God. Yeah, the rhubarb, and then what else? Sweet potatoes and potatoes. Very, very high oxalate.
Oh
So
yeah, potatoes are high oxalate as well.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
As
And
in, is it that all nightshades are high in oxalates, or is that a different
um
category?
I think all nightshades are. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
tomatoes,
Uh,
eggplant.
and then beans, extremely high in oxalates. That's the only thing that I have to dance around with because I have eaten way too many oxalates in my life. So if I do beans, I try to stay still 60 milligrams below, like not do more than 60 milligrams of oxalates per day, because according to all the oxalate research, and there is lots of it. Now I'm not, it's unfortunately hasn't been integrated with the toxic bile paradigm, but I'm integrating it for myself. Um, it's 60 milligrams is about how much your kidneys can process in one day, and the citrates help to soften if you do already have oxalate crystals forming somewhere. What else is crazy high oxalate? Anything whole, like, whole grain, any whole grain, whole wheat, brown rice, bran, all of those things are crazy high in oxalates. Yeah.
That's so funny. That's just the opposite, eh? Now
Yeah.
I literally enjoy white rice, and it's better. It's just better. It's funny how I do great on a diet I thought that was bad for me. So
And you know what else is crazy? High in oxalates, which is the greatest blessing I ever got, because it was about 5 years ago, 4 years ago that I finally stopped eating chocolate.
Yeah,
Chocolate, besides copper and cadmium and lead and other stuff, is really high in oxalates.
right,
And
right.
the way that I made chocolate, I made my own raw chocolate. I would create like a cashew cream with raw butter that I would put inside the chocolates. I would make them with, one by one, and it was heavenly. But at that point, I was like, uh, I've eaten enough chocolate in my life, and it's the same thing. So yeah, it's delicious, but why keep repeating it if I've already done it so much? So I just let it go.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah, really good. Yeah. So the one thing about beans to know possibly is that because they tend to be higher in soluble fiber, not all of them, there are
Mhm.
some more than others, then it might be a mechanism for helping you deal with the oxalates in the process. Because that's
Yeah.
often, like, you can't say, is it a good food or a bad food? It would be,
Mhm.
what's the package deal? Is that
Mhm.
juice worth the squeeze? And then what's your relationship to oxalates in the first place? I
Mhm.
must have been really poisoned with oxalates for the gojis, the sorrel, the rhubarb, and the whole
And the
grains.
and the Chinese mushrooms.
Chinese mushrooms, right, which I never liked. I
Yeah.
congratulate myself for not going down that road for the most part, except cordyceps I did take when I was sick with cancer, and I didn't get better. So, yeah, cautious with oranges. I haven't had an orange for the last year at all. They're high ox or satsumas, etc.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, good to know.
Yeah.
And Janet's asking about oat milk, which I think, especially if you make it yourself, it's a better source. But there's some cautions because the beta glucan in oats is intensely detoxifying, and so you can get into trouble with oats. And then the commercial oat milk inevitably will have been through the processing of something that's not going to be good.
The oat milk, like the almond milk, is gonna be even higher in oxalates. Oats are medium oxalate, so I mean, none of these things you should overdo,
Right.
Like, you shouldn't just because you like oatmeal, and you have to watch yourself, see what happens. Because in the beginning, I started eating a lot of oatmeal when I went on this diet. I was
Me
like, "Oh,
too.
I love oatmeal. Let's do this." And man, it was too much soluble fiber for me, and started dumping too fast. So now I can feel like maybe every 4 or 5 days or once a week, I have some oatmeal, but not globs of it, just half a cup.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I was making the muffins. I've adapted that recipe so far since the original, and now I've cut the oats by 2/3, and I've made up the difference in spelt flour, and they're way, way better for me
Mhm,
for where I'm
mhm.
at. So yeah, less oats. Who knew? And it's a good thing I bought the mother load of those too. And I have a lot of barley that I'm not eating because that's
I know, me
like
too.
a
That's
ninja grain.
the black belt of soluble fiber, which
Exactly.
one day I hope to be able to eat.
We're getting our
Um,
black belts.
but I like when I make my bread now, it's also gone through many recipes, many transformations. I actually eliminated the oatmeal, now I'm putting it back in, but I'll do 3 different flours. I'll just do like a, quarter of a cup of the masa harina, which gives the whole bread a kind of a pound cake flavor, you
And
know?
is that corn? Masa
Yeah,
harina? Okay.
masa harina, yeah.
Okay.
That's the nixtamalized, which came into the conversation when Garrett talked about if you do feel like you wanna get some calcium, then do it from food. So
Yes.
that was one of the foods but again, it's high in oxalate, so I don't overdo it. I'll just do white flour, just a small amount of masa harina, and maybe a little bit, and what I've been doing is putting into the bread, I've been putting the jasmine white rice, but cooked. I'll put quite a bit of it because that rice actually has 0 fiber in it. So it's
Mm.
really good for people who are under types and who can handle it, who get along with rice. Um, because it's just calories, but it won't push any detox. But if you need to have just like calories, then that's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
Those foods, jasmine rice.
Yeah, I was starving for calories. That was a big awakening when Gareth said, I think you need to eat more and less quality, not less quality, but less fibrous foods. Because I was having the apple, I was having the oats, I was having the, beans, I was having all these high fiber foods. I would get very full from it, but I would go to bed starving. And so I had to swap out a lot of that. Now I'll just eat beans once a day, and only half cup max, maybe quarter cup, much lower amounts. What was I going to say? I also have taken to soaking my oats before I add them. And JJ's asking about recipes. Come join the House of Free Will. If you feel very nervous about that for some reason being part of the cult, then I can gift you a guest membership. If you feel really nervous, you'll have to be like sweating for that one, and or just reach out to me. I know we had a trouble you messaged me through my King Hero channel, and I could respond once, but never again. So just in case you think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. But I hear you heard on the grapevine that I was stalking you. And so the recipes are, we have our own dedicated group for Love Your Liver. I think there's maybe 38 of us, just small groups supporting each other. And that's wonderful. I love Garrett's forum, of course. That's the primo for the education. But this is the daily exchange of information. I have a good foods list. It's been through a number of editions. We're going to add some pretty pictures to it. Although the food we eat isn't nearly as beautiful as all of the poisonous food, right? That's full of color. It's hard to get really photogenic on that way. But yeah, we're sharing recipes and tips and all kinds of things. So I would definitely recommend joining the House of Free Will for that.
Yeah, it's like these little things that you just need to talk to people like, oh, apples are low oxalate. Oh, so bananas are also, so just these little kind of details that you just like, women sitting at the campfire talking and men too. Men can talk too.
Exactly. You got it. Yeah, bean and brainwash, kale and leafy greens, 15 minutes of sun. Interesting. Yeah, kale's poisonous.
Yeah, kale is, yeah, disgusting. And I used to make it. I mean, I would massage my kale. I have videos of me massaging my salad, squeezing. I would call it giving a hand job to my salad, doing all these things to bring out the juices. And I'd have to put all kinds of things in it, from nut butters to honey to fruits to mango, another crazy high A fruit, but low oxalate. So you see, this is the one thing I just want to say about the low oxalate diet. I learned a lot, and I continue to use some of that knowledge, and I've included it in my life. It's part of my life. But what's happened to the lovely woman Sally Norton, who is basically, got this knowledge out, she can't eat beef now. And because she has people eating all kinds of dairy and sardines and fish. And so really it's become a very low oxalate, very high A and very high copper diet. And so she is now allergic. All she can eat now is pork and sardines because the pork keeps her from detoxing, from dumping, the bile dumping, right? Because every time she does the beef, my guess, this is my educated or uneducated guess, whichever, is that the beef has too much zinc in it. So every time she has the beef, she starts to dump copper. And so I knew that there was something not right about that diet. When I heard her say that, I'm going, wait a second. She's now not able to eat some of the most important foods that there are in terms of nutrition. So that's kind of, how it goes. And I wish she would be open to learning about this because she could really help a lot of people. And she has helped people, and she has helped me. Tremendous improvement in lowering my oxalates, I noticed, in my joints and all kinds of other things. But
What was her name again?
Sally Norton.
So are we in a different framework now? Yeah, we're down at the
She's
law.
she's the
Oh,
oxalate.
she's that lady. Okay, got it. Okay.
She's the oxalate lady. Yeah. So I
This is good,
kind of
yeah.
jumped over to the oxalates.
No, that's good. Yeah, I'm with you now.
There was, yeah. So that's all. I just wanted to put that out there. You know, that sometimes it's too bad that people can't really sit. Like, this is what I really appreciate about Dr. Smith, is that, you know, he sat down, like, talking to that guy Robert, who was researching all this stuff. He's not on our diet, and Garrett is perfectly comfortable speaking with people who are not in this diet. I've seen him at interviews, and he can, you know, he's not resistant to listening or learning. And most people, I do find, are quite closed, and maybe not on purpose, but just by the mere focus of, like, this is my work. But I find that the toxic bile paradigm, for me, at least for me, feels like it's the most open in terms of embracing many things. You know, I mean, he's talking about the breathing, which I do want to mention too.
For sure. But before we go deep into, I think we still have like 7 points left. Do you wanna keep going on our list, or are you out of time?
What time is it? I have no idea what time is it.
If we're gonna go 2 hours, we've got 40 minutes left.
Well, whatever you feel. If I think we could do another one. Because I really do want to get into the low deuterium diet, and what's the other one? And then how it relates to the breathing.
Okay. Elisa wants us to keep going.
Oh,
So,
I'm fine. I have time, so I'm good. So it's up to you, Beth. You're the boss.
Okay. Yeah. Let's. Doesn't mean we can't do another one, but let's keep going on this list, and then that'll help my OCD brain that's on the list. And so next we have the Epi-Paleo diet. This is the Jack Cruz, seafood heavy. Oh, good thing I didn't notice that one. I can't get down with seafood. So
and just the you know, the gross kind of seafood with the oysters and the clams and things like that. He thinks that's the answer to everything. And
why? What's the reasoning?
Actually, I think it has to do with the omegas for him. And his main focus is on the light, the blue light. Like, that's his big thing. You know, that he even lived underground for a while, trying to figure out, you know, what's the best way for human beings to live. But I find I don't trust him. I just don't. He disappeared during the whole for like a couple of years between 2020 and like 2024, and then he kind of resurfaced. So I've been following him since like maybe 2011. And he just, to me, like Wim Hof, you know, I just don't feel like there's something not right. And there's something right about, you know, like, I'm sure he's got many good points. You shouldn't be exposed to blue light all the time and all of that. But he made it into this, like, oh, I need my blue blockers. Whereas we've learned with this, you know, with the research that Garrett has shared with us, that you are much more sensitive to that if you are very high in A. And I find that now, I'm not that I recommend this, but I can be on the computer even in the evening and I turn it off and I'm fine. You know, it doesn't like make me. So, yeah. And also he just doesn't sound well or look well. Not that looks are, I don't mean good looking. I just mean, like, you know, radiating vitality, you know. So it reminds me of Ron Teagarden, who is the big Chinese mushroom guy in Los Angeles who brings tons and tons, and the Goji guy, who's brings a lot of these products from China to here.
Right. Can
And
you answer this question? That is this the same Jack Cruz that says everyone should move to the tropics, Uncle Jack?
yes,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
the same Jack
Just for context,
who
yeah.
says that if you live, like he's saying that if you live below the equator, you can eat lots and lots of bananas, but if you live above it, you can't. And he's got, some interesting stuff. I mean, but it just feels like it's just a kind of, I felt like I was running around in circles with him, like he was more interested in hearing his own voice than, and a lot of the people who follow him, they're really young, and they look amazing. Yeah, but, they're in the sun all day long surfing.
They have zero credibility.
Like they're
Sorry.
28 and they're proof of how his diet works. Like, okay.
No, I know. Yeah, there's like a lot of this went celebrity. And, so you're in the natural health world. That was never the case that you were a rock star.
Yeah.
Right. But now you're a natural health rock star. And I think that takes some
Well, and
precedent.
he's got some famous guy that's following him and that's, talking about how great he is and how he saved his life. So usually if you have a celebrity or you become one, it's just like we were talking last week, so much of this is marketing. It's just like Netflix, they have rooms where they figure out what are people afraid of, what are people longing for, and then let's make a movie or a product that's going to get people coming our way.
Exactly, the focus groups. And then, things can start with really good intentions and then they sell their soul to the devil. Like I was just listening to Alex Michael's song where he impersonates Bob Dylan and talks about selling his soul to the devil. That's a really good song, you guys. Definitely recommend listening to that. And it's definitely an eye opener, and keep your eyes open as you go because nothing really stays the same. So yeah, that Jack Cruz always brags about all of the politicians he rubs elbows with set off your red flag monitor. Exactly. I know.
Oh yeah, who said that?
Quietly content, Bear.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Me too. When he resurfaced, he's talking about all these people he's sitting with and talking to. I'm going like, you're dropping a lot of names, dude. Why?
Yeah. I don't like that at all. Personally, that means you're badly associated, and I don't want that much to do with you. If you're bragging about all the people that you know. I could drop a few names too, but then you won't trust me anymore.
We should just do a show where we do nothing but drop names.
Yeah, exactly. And should we go on and talk about the plant paradox?
Well, we kind of already did. We did. I mean,
that's in fear.
Yeah, it's Dr. Gundry, and he's doing some good because everyone, all of these were doing something good because they kept bringing me the fact that they didn't work kept pushing me further and further to investigate and to be a true scientist. I think the word science actually means seeker, like scientist means seeker of knowledge or seeker of wisdom or something like that. Like the real meaning of that word, I have to look it up. The Latin meaning of it has to do with just seeking, and because science is no different than any art. They're very related, so I'm grateful to all the stuff that didn't work. I mean, I tried Dr. Gundry's, he has like raspberry powder, berry powder, he's like the phenols, they're all good for you. And they're not.
Exactly. Yeah. I'll just echo that failed experiments are all good until you're out of time for those. There comes a point where you're on such a teeter-totter, there's such a huge amount of toxicity that little things set you off. That's why I was glad I could eat a little bit of sweet. I didn't feel sick. I didn't ruin anything. Like I've adapted to a point where, because it used to be half a cup of decaf coffee would set me off. It's like, come on, how sensitive could I get? And it's not sensitive, it's toxic. So the failed experiments, you learn from them. That's life. Life is full of that. But there comes a time where there's this is not. This is what I love about Garrett. He said, "This is not a game."
I know.
If you think, yeah, if you think natural health is a game, it's because you have the luxury probably of youth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could be a game, but you're playing for very high stakes.
Right, right, exactly. Then that's a gamble. That's not for
Right.
fun, you know. Yeah, that's what I resent, that it is this game like, "Ooh, you know, homeopathics and, ooh, essential oils," and it's just also romantic and fun and all this kind of stuff. It's like, "Come on, you guys, just figure it out." All right. I don't mean to be mean. Actually, I'm pretty patient with people, especially when this stuff is concerned, because people just don't have a clue. So you can't run around and call them out. It's not like that. So this is a really good one. I know this will be very interesting for people. And we got the high fat carnivore diet. Paul Saladino is a major proponent. Is he the main proponent of the carnivore diet?
No.
Okay.
No, I'd say there's I can't remember his name. He's a big hulking guy. It's the guy who ate an apple and it put him out for 3 days that Dr. Smith talks about.
Is he the one that went bananas, that he ate all the Liver King guy?
No, this is somebody else. Excuse me.
That's okay.
No, I'm just somebody is making dust outside and it's coming in here.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's yeah.
It's warm and it's winter and all the mold in the ground is being stirred.
Yeah.
There was moisture in there, and so it's like, oh, coming in here.
Do you want a minute to close up your place?
No, well, I'll
Or
see.
clear your throat or anything?
If I start having a major bile dump live, then I'll let you know.
You can always mute if you need
I
to.
can always mute and
Yeah.
not cough in your ear.
That's okay. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, so high fat carnivore, I know that off the top that you're doing some good things here for yourself, and you're getting substantial amounts of protein, which is what most people lack, especially men. And I think this is the carnivore diet attracted a lot of men for that reason. So they got off the plant foods onto higher protein. You have a very low A diet when you go carnivore. That's the lowest A that you could be. Now that's actually in a way partly evidence for the fact that because they didn't heal, and it wasn't a diet that could be done in the long run. And I remember, a friend of mine, oh yeah, I've been carnivore and I don't poop very much anymore. It's like, oh, this is important, right? This is because that's your main body's natural way, favorable way to let the toxins go and let the toxic bile out of your system. And so, and plus you starve out your
Bifidobacteria. Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, if like Dr. Chafee, he is like, a young whippersnapper who actually can do really well on but he only eats muscle meat, salt, and water. Okay. And he's doing well on it, but he started in his early 20s. So wherever he started is where he's always going to stay, as far as the liver being able to cleanse itself. Now, if he was in a good place, then he can go on for quite a while, I'm sure, on just that diet. But like if you're 50 or 40 or even his age, but you've eaten nothing but dairy all your life or have been on high doses of Accutane, and you suddenly go carnivore, then it's not a pretty picture, because
Right.
then you've basically arrested your body's capacity to remove and to change the formula of your bile. The recipe of your bile stays kind of back where it was when you started. So you're really not moving anything, and you think it's normal to not poop, to only poop every 3 days.
Right.
And I told myself that when I was doing that. I was like, "Well, that's because it's being so well processed that I don't need to." That was what I told myself,
Exactly. I'm using it all. I said
Yeah.
to myself, I'm using it all. Yeah. And I have to put a vote in here for, or not a vote, but just speak up for how people, they literally brag that they have clean poop, and they're, when they wipe, there's nothing going on. You don't want that. It means you are not producing bile, right? This is something, and we were all taught to be afraid of a messy poop, when it's like, no, no, that's good. That means your bile's actually moving out.
That's interesting. Now you got me thinking. Now, of course, I'm theorizing. There's nothing that I've researched or anything about that, but that's the thing with because they'll say, "Well, animals never wipe their butt, right?"
They lick them. You guys, they have a really long tongue.
Yeah, that too, but also animals are the ones who are doing us the favor of eating all this toxic stuff, and their poor livers are cleaning it out. So, maybe that's how they keep themselves from having any symptoms, why an animal always looks so healthy. I mean, it's just interesting. I don't know. I'm just having a thought experiment at this moment, wondering about that. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think as people get healthier and healthier, just on the last topic, is that we should go into business and make a nice bidet, because it's better. I'm still eyeing one or the other, but it's complicated because of my setup here. And anyway,
But
maybe enough of
also
that topic.
but also I'm just thinking that it has to do with your biome, because when your bile is really toxic, your bacteria is out of whack.
Yes.
So I bet the bacteria being fully in harmony and not creating even more toxic bile, because some bacteria will, um, that probably has a lot to do with the cleanliness of one's poop. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. I do not know. And so, what's better than a carnivore? You're a big milk and Accutane survivor. I'm sorry to hear that. You would never go carnivore. Um, yeah, I mean, adding a soluble fiber source to a carnivore diet, and for me, carbohydrates. I absolutely need carbohydrates. Back to the gut biome that you're talking about, Dagmar. So yeah, that's, carnivore plus. We'll call it carnivore plus.
Yeah, that was the worst part of doing the carnivore for so many years, is that I just grains? No, I will not touch any grains. But thank God I still had the instinct to keep eating apples and bananas.
Right,
Or, yeah,
exactly. So you didn't totally ruin your gut.
yeah, I didn't totally
Mhm.
shock myself. Yeah.
One more thing about the high fat carnivore. We actually should talk high fat, and we should also just mention that wouldn't include organ meats. So people gorging out on the liver and the kidneys and those kind of things. You don't want the organs that accumulate toxicity, that are proven to accumulate and store toxicity.
Mhm.
The fat is a similar thing, where it's a ready-made storage unit. So the more fat that you get out of your diet, the more places you have to put your own poison. And that's what the animal did. Like you said, they kind of sacrifice for us. They take in more poison, they put it in their fat. The muscle meat doesn't get poisonous for whatever reason, which is such a beautiful thing. That's why it's the fat can be not clean, but the muscle meat is clean,
Mhm.
and then we thrive on that. So yeah, I was really, really with the fat bombs and gobs I was finally into the tallow and the lard. I think I went through at least a couple of quarts of lard in my body. I'm probably still suffering with that.
Oh god, I just threw away 2 tubs of lard and left it out, and of course the animals were happy to have it, but,
It's good.
if we're eating a carnivore diet that includes bacon, I mean, my god, then you're just becoming like you're creating a better storage unit for all this stuff, yeah.
I have a lot of ghee because I again prepped ghee. I bought butter, made all this ghee and stored it. And so if anybody wants some ghee, It's like organic grass fed and stuff like that.
Yep, yep,
But yeah,
yep.
it's the same thing, that fat, it's totally toxic, so I can't barely even give it away
Yeah.
knowing that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
still have frozen butter in my refrigerator, which
Mm,
I still but before I would eat like 1 butter, pound of butter a week. Now a pound of butter lasts me like 6 weeks.
or 6 months. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
just do a little and yeah, even yeah, so it's a big difference. But yeah, the high fat part of these diets is like whether it's coconut fat or, butter, but either way, one way you're getting copper, another way you're just getting high A, or nut butters, then you're getting all the copper and all the other anti-nutrients, anti-digestive nutrients, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the nut butters are hard for me because so when if I need to have a last snack or a last meal and I don't want meat and I want carbohydrates, but I want something with that. So I don't have it, but I just always want it. I always think, "Oh, almond butter or something would be so
Oh,
nice."
yeah, no, I used to love I mean, I even did peanut butter at one point when I was raw. I would
Oh,
do
for sure.
raw peanut butter. I would do actually, I did do grains when I was raw. I did do some raw oatmeal with raw goji berries and walnuts and spirulina and chlorella, everything all mushed in there. My meals used to look dark green and just like I mean, a lot less aesthetic than they do now. My father would look at my plate and he'd be like, "It looks like you're eating kolomas, which in English means like when you put oil in the car, like or oil on a tire, you know. He's like, "You will live forever." I'm like, "Oh, I thought so then," but now I'm like, "Oh no, I don't think so."
Right, right. That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, just the gobs and the gobs of the fat, couldn't get it, it's pouring on the fat, and now I finally realized I can do most of my cooking without fat because the meat has some as soon as it warms,
Yeah, yeah, as soon
you've
as it
got enough.
warms, it releases its fat so you can cook it in that, yeah, yeah,
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, that was humbling because my parents were always doing the low-fat diet. Now they made a lot of mistakes with that because they turned to things like margarine and other,
right.
so not good alternatives, but it was kind of funny that all my life I've been preaching the fat to them and here I'm gone,
Me
kinda
too.
low fat.
Me too, which is so speaking of that, how sometimes they do get it right. The low-fat diet was not a bad idea, and I look down upon it with such condescension. Oh
I
god.
know, oh,
I
exactly.
was like, "No, you need the saturated fat, especially when it's raw. It will just clear out all the bad fat in your body."
Right, right. Oh, yeah, I've been slowly giving away all my preps to my son's friend who eats nothing but organic, so he hasn't, glommed onto this diet yet, and so I'm just pushing my preps his way. And what is, SHTF barter? Does anyone know? You have to let me know quietly.
What is what?
It she's saving them for SHTF barter.
Oh,
When
when
it hits
shit
the
hits
fan.
the fan, yeah. Yeah, oh, I have my SHTF bar oh, it's so full. I got essential oils, I got, all kinds of, organ pills, I got, green powders, blue powders, red powders, I got, tons of sardines, oh my god, and salmon and oh, I'm gonna be ready.
Oh, man, I'm not. I'm not anymore. I don't yeah. Oh, the barter part, I should be ready for that, but I can't buy crap. I don't wanna buy anything I don't eat anymore, although that's I did get chocolate, and I did get coffee, which I don't use either, and even tobacco, because that might be very well a big barter value, and, I was gonna this is the most common question that comes up, "Doesn't the brain need fat?" Yes, and good luck getting a no-fat diet if you're eating muscle meat. So then it has plenty. Even when you drain it off and you cut it off and you go out of your way to get less of it, it's still inevitably going to have the fat in it. And there must be some psyops around the brain stuff, how they pushed all that
Mhm.
kudos oil at us. Do you know more about it?
Um, yeah, I don't the omega-3s and all of that for your brain and yeah. Um, no, I don't know, but,
Yeah.
just like spinach and carrots were clear psyops,
Yeah, yeah,
so
exactly. Hello and welcome, Lionel, and you love pink salmon. Do you want us to ruin that for you?
Sorry.
Yeah, keep us posted. Yeah, so you shouldn't eat fish because they are a filter of the water. If you can't drink the water, don't eat the fish because they will be a gross concentration of the
Mhm.
poison in the water. Definitely never eat their liver, which I don't think people usually eat salmon livers, as far as I know, just cod livers. But yeah, the fish not so good. Mercury, Garrett's been able to he tests and he sees people's mercury can be off the charts. He was talking about that in a stream I listened to yesterday, which I don't think was new, but he had a patient for many years that wouldn't give up his fish, and that showed. And it showed when he started to at least eat back off to once a week.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
does anyone want some salmon? Got it in the freezer. Like,
I got plenty.
yeah, yeah. At least this is so funny suggesting that I could give all my ghee I could just literally go stand on my street corner and wait for people to come by and hand them, "Want some ghee?" So smart. I didn't think of that. Maybe I should go to a mall. It's cold outside. Really funny. Oh, very good. This is fun. And yeah, so we went for the muscle meat and water. We kind of covered that already. The
Mhm.
low histamine diet. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, yeah, that was when I was searching for why is my digestion not working, and I was thinking it's SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Then I thought, no, it's histamines. That's the problem. Uh, and then I realized that I was dissuaded from that diet. It's just, finding not eating anything that's been refrigerated or sat, after it's cooked. Anything that like fish would have high histamine. But the woman who was kind of spearheading that, she passed away at a very young age, a beautiful, beautiful woman. And I believe ultimately they said it was from extreme breast cancer that has like no survival. I forget what they call it, triple something, triple, they had a name for it. So I was like, gee, well, I don't know if I want to get into this diet. if she's been on it and she's so young, it didn't inspire me. Yeah, and she was eating weird things, like instead of grains she would eat those, they do it in England, it's a substitute, some kind of it's called a nut. um it's called a nut, but it really isn't a nut. Do you know what I'm talking about? Tiger nuts.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't get
Tiger
as
nuts,
well.
that was a
Okay.
big thing, that people who, wanted to be grain-free, so they make tiger nut powder. I mean, just all really harsh things, high oxalate, and, so I was like, "No, this isn't gonna work," so I let that one go. Same as with the anti-inflammatory.
Could we stay on the histamine for a
Mhm.
moment?
Yeah, sure.
And, yeah, so this was something Garrett told me, I think in my first interview with him, or first or second, that anything long cooking is going to develop histamines.
Mm,
So
mm,
this unfortunately, people are really unhappy to hear about their broths that they might make, bone broth for 2 or 3 or 5 days with the same bones in there, and then you end up with massive amounts of
mhm.
histamine. I believe that was one of the reasons, including high fat, that I would feel sick every time I had broth. Like
It's
every
also
single
the collagen, sorry to interrupt.
collagen and the copper.
Yeah, the collagen and the copper, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and we were led to believe that collagen was the bomb, that was the good stuff, and I almost wept when I heard Garrett's discovery about it being high copper, but, I'm over it now.
Good. Well, also the collagen was one of the things that I, was aware of when the oxalate diet, they were talking about how collagen turns into oxalates. So,
Ah,
it's same thing with vitamin C, they were like, stay away from that. So it got me, little pieces here and there, little droplets,
Yeah,
that.
that must have made it really great for you when you came across Garrett because you had all those pieces
Mhm,
of
mhm.
things, and then so you could put them into like, "Oh, he knows about that, and he got that piece, and he got this
Yep,
piece." So
yep.
it
And
helped a lot.
I love the way, when I understand the bigger picture that it's the bile is where all the poisons are, and I understand that it's not just some oxalate dumping, pathway, that it's the bile pathway, and that the oxalates are in the bile as part of the recipe that makes it more toxic if it goes over a certain point, right? As far as the oxalates are concerned. So then it all started to be like, oh, I get it, because it was this mystery. Well, how do the oxalates move around? Like, how do they get into the joints? I don't get it. Well, it's through the blood, if you have a
Exactly.
leaky bile, though. But otherwise, there's no other way to explain it. You're like, well, you eat it, it goes in your stomach, and then how does it get into your feet?
Yeah, exactly, or your deltoid, like with a frozen they call it frozen shoulder, but it's
Yes.
really the deltoid. I'm pretty sure it's, like, either calcification in there or an oxalate deposit. It has got much better over time, so it's really good.
And the
Um,
thing is, when people talk about oxalates and normal people, they never say calcium oxalate, They only say oxalate. So it's just interesting, that to avoid the word calcium. Why? You know,
oh, interesting, okay,
what
alright.
do they not want us to know about that calcium really is not that good for us?
Okay, okay. That's news to me. So, yeah, it's calcium oxalate is the substance in high oxalate foods.
Well, yeah, and it's the one that causes the kidney stones. That's what the kidney stones are.
Right, right, there you go. Oh, that's a good little nugget for me in particular. The histamines also, I think you said this already, but, leaving food out, not getting it in the fridge,
Or even if you
that's
put it in the fridge,
even in
even
the fridge
that.
as leftovers,
Yeah,
exactly.
leftovers is
Yeah,
something you wanna avoid with histamine.
yeah. No, I won't do that. I haven't been sensitive that I know of, although it could be denial, but, and what I'll do now is I'll create a bigger batch of something, and then I'll freeze 2/3 of it
Mhm,
and
mhm.
have just smaller amounts in the fridge for leftovers, but I think that's heaven. When I have food that's all ready and I just have to warm it, then I'm like, "Oh, I won the jackpot today." So, but yeah, freezing it I think helps to again, I don't have a problem with it. Now histamine, the function of histamine in your body, do you know anything about that?
Um, no, I can't. No, I'm not gonna. No, it's been a
Okay.
while since I've gone down that road, and I've
Yeah.
kind of let go of anything that I don't need to occupy my brain with.
Right, right. Well, speaking of brain, I believe histamine is very related to detoxing the brain. Now, you heard the word believe. This is not researched, so don't go and quote this or anything like that. But because it's the histamine is part of what happens when you're going to sneeze, and you get that feeling of like effervescence in your face,
Mhm.
and inevitably you sneeze, and then your face runs out. And yeah, I think that's a big part of detoxing the brain.
It's just a big detox. I mean, that's a big part of the whole detoxification process. That part I do get.
Yeah, yeah, okay, but and I'm just thinking, like, location. Is there a closer location than your sinuses and your mouth and your breath to the brain, right? It's just like
Mhm, mhm,
it's got an
mhm.
instant thing, so, yeah, that's, anyway. And, good for you, Lionel, for taking that in. See, some people, they wanna just hold on to their ideas, and other people wanna do what's right, what's actually right for them. And
Mhm.
those are much more my friends, Emile said that the, monkfish liver is a delicacy. Yeah, yeah. I wonder what's up with the caviar, another delicacy, expensive. It must be really awful too.
I wonder. I was
So
never
ex
drawn to it.
No, no, not at all, not at all. Alright, so let's, go on. Stick of butter a day.
Oh, yeah, this is, Doctor what was her name? Elizabeth Bright, right. Um, yeah, she lives in Italy, I believe, but she's American, and I started that for a while, and man, that was amazing because I was like, "Wow." I just felt, and actually, it had a very good use for me one time when I started doing that, I was driving and I was hit by a drunk driver, and my car spun many times, and shockingly, I was pretty unharmed, but I was, quite traumatized and shocked. And I happened to have tons of butter with me, and I ate a whole bunch of it. And I know that man, I mean, yeah, it kind of helped me go through um the um the PTSD of it. Like, I didn't have any PTSD because obviously I would have just bile dumped like crazy because I couldn't believe I was alive, and I had to stay in a hotel, and I had to, like, just like, everything was a complete wreck. Um and so the stick of butter, so it was useful for that moment, and then I kind of continued it, and then it started to feel like, "Oh, man, why am I feeling worse and worse?" So it had sort of like medicine, is if you're about to die or something, yeah, everything has its place. But, the whole idea that apparently, butter brings down your cortisol, that's nice, but after a while, it probably raises it. Um, so it's that duration paradox that Dr. Smith talks about. Um, and then there's also, who's that butter girl? I think she calls herself. She's beautiful Asian woman who is a piano player, and Bella the butter girl, I think is her name. And so she is also raw carnivore, and she just eats meat and tons of fat. And she's very young, and so is her husband. She's making him eat the same thing. I'm just waiting to see how's it gonna end.
Mhm.
So you can watch these people. I have another person I've been watching who owns a big company called Raw Food World, and he sells all raw food stuff. And he believes in colonics and raw food, and he ended up having to have surgery, and he got, I forget, not diverticulitis, the other thing, but he still keeps selling his stuff, and he had to start eat cooked stuff, but he still says, "Try my new carrot powder, try my new beet powder. This is the most powerful, raw jungle peanut butter you've ever had." And this is the cleanest chocolate on the planet. And he's he's still doing it. So you can watch some people, and he was pretty young too, so it got to him too. But anyway, I
Right.
don't wish for anybody to have that experience. I just watch and see.
Exactly. There's no pleasure in watching somebody fail on their diet at all. It's instructive, though. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and that's a really beautiful thing. You don't have to make all your own mistakes. I just wanted to quickly say that it was you that told me that wild foods tend to be more poisonous in general. So see the inversion, how we've been turned towards, you want the wild salmon, you want the wild blueberries, you want the fiddleheads. But I hated my parents for making me eat those things, and now I know why. And yeah, yes,
Yeah, yeah, and you wanna go foraging, it's this new thing, "Go foraging."
yeah,
Yes, you can eat all this stuff. Look, nature has its own little garlic for you in the forest. You know?
yeah,
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 it
exactly.
is inversion, yeah, and sometimes they invert the inversion, so you really don't know.
I know exactly. And honestly, your taste is very intelligent. It knows because when I eat things that are more wild, even I just remember a friend has a pear tree that has been wild. Nobody planted that pear tree, and they create tiny little beautiful looking pears. You eat them and it's like get that out of my mouth. It's so like attacks you because the seeds want the flesh, and then it wants to reproduce.
Yeah,
So yeah,
pears are very high in oxalates too.
a regular pear is high in oxalates.
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
but they're low A, and, I'll buy one every, 6 to 8 weeks or so. It'll sit and get way
mhm,
too ripe on my counter, and then I more or less don't eat it. So is
mhm,
that why?
mm. Yeah, I too will sometimes just buy a pear, like one, and then it always takes me so long to eat it. You know, even when it's, like, just right, I'm like, "Huh." I
I
buy it
know.
because I like the look of it.
It's a variety, like, I'm still going that part of my brain that needed so much variety before that's better, but still fantasizes about you go into a store and you, like, come out with bananas, and it's like, "But there's, like, 600,000,000 products, and I just got bananas? Come on." Yeah. Actually, I might end up in Florida, and my friend is growing his own bananas in the backyard. So that's one of my fantasies this winter to taste a
Oh,
banana
that'll be
off.
fun.
I know, you should come meet
Uh-huh.
us. You should totally come meet us. All right. So, I wonder if we should leave it there. We are at 2 hours. I have some stuff that I definitely
Okay.
need to get
Yeah.
back to. We could still chat for a few minutes here. Leaves us with a few things and then maybe adding a few more things on it.
Oh, yeah, I have others that I realize I forgot
Mm.
to put in here. There's other yeah, there's other things that, like Pritikin and Atkins and some of those.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
so maybe next time we can start with these and also break out a little bit into things like frequencies and magnets and the
mhm.
Mateko breathing you wanted to talk about and pranayama and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and I really
uh,
wanna, yeah, get into the low deuterium and the ketogenic and the breathing part too, yeah.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. And the raw milk cure, that one is a very good one
Yeah,
to talk
that
about. So
I got the
yeah,
book. I
yeah,
read the book. I tried it. Boy, did I regret it.
there you go. Okay, we'll save that one for next time, and that will be 1 week's time from now. Will that be next year already, Dagmar?
Oh my god, wait, when is New Year's?
Pretty darn close. My son is going to be 19 that day on New Year's Day.
Wow.
Yep, and yeah,
When
so
when is New Year's Day? Is it Thursday or Friday?
it's Thursday. So yeah, we'll be back again Friday the 2nd
Okay,
next year. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. See you next year.
Sounds good. See you next year, Beth.
There you go. And there's still a few comments. So, uh,
Oh,
Quietly Content Bear is very happy you made a full recovery from that accident. That's really intense.
oh, thank you. That's so kind.
Yeah. And Maya said this was actually what I was going to say about the stick of butter a day. And can you think of a food that is more of a comfort food than butter? Right. And it's probably like she's exactly saying, dulling the nervous system and shutting your detox down. And that's very comforting.
Oh my god, I used to make things butter balls, and I would put, oh god, I would put chopped nuts and honey, so butter and honey, and some nuts, and I would put, like, some Chinese mushrooms to make it taste like chocolate when I stopped eating chocolate, so I could recreate the chocolate flavor with all kinds of interesting herbs, and man, those things, they would just, yeah, it's like a beautiful, and it's like an anesthetic. It's like watching, movies on that just you know exactly what's gonna happen, you know? It's like an IV drip of numbness, but you don't think of it that way. You just go, "Oh, I just feel so good."
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we associate pleasure with the absence of pain, and that's not really what's going on there. So, yeah, you almost started a huge food forest in your backyard last year. Thank God you only started with a couple of apple trees. Oh, you made a good choice on there.
Good choice,
Yeah,
yeah.
apple trees are excellent. I love them. I grew up with them. Although the sour local apples, I don't digest well. I have to be just what do you say it honest with myself about that. What about Freely? She's been all about the raw food diet. She's in her 40s. See, she's young. So no, zero credibility. Don't listen to her.
Who is this that they're talking about?
Freely. I haven't heard
Oh, I don't know who that is. Yeah, I know.
name.
I'm telling you, I was good on the raw vegan diet. It was up until I was 52 when suddenly I was like, what is going on? And I didn't even put it together. But just thank God my body somehow I would go, oh, I'm just gonna have a little bit of this, but I thought I was invincible. I was like, oh. I'm numb to hot and cold temperature. I'm like, the high school weight and all of this stuff, you just feel so high and so delusional and so yinned out. When you're on the raw vegan diet, you are yin. There was no yang to hold you down. It's like you're like a balloon, and that's sometimes you get those annoying people at like Gratitude Cafe in Los Angeles, who, the waiters and waitresses and the people who go there, they're all raw vegans and they're just so light. You could put your hand through them, and but very easy to trigger in a weird way. Yeah, anyway, just my
Very
2
good.
cents there.
Very good. And yeah, wild berries, there's nothing more romantic than wild berries, especially Saskatoon berries. In fact, I went to work at a farm that had a whole Saskatoon berry orchard, not a tree, an orchard that goes on for a huge expanse. So that was kind of funny. And we used to pick those berries, pick one, eat one, pick one, eat one, pick one, eat one, and how sick I was making myself doing that.
What color are those berries?
Oh, they're the most beautiful red, like kind of purpley red. They're like the most beautiful color that there is.
Are they like a blueberry or are they more like a raspberry?
They're more like a blueberry if you
Oh,
if you
okay.
if you need the comparison. Yeah, they have pretty big seeds in them. I bet the seeds are full of oxalates, right? Didn't
Absolutely.
you say?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where all
yeah.
the oxalates hang out. Protect the baby. That's what the oxalates do. Protect the babies of all the plants.
So I had a smart guest one time, a young fellow who had a lot of gut issues in different ways, and he would pull the seeds out of every single Saskatoon he ate. So he was smart. He knew.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. Nutrient. And
Well, that's what the Italians do. That's why a lot of people who go to Italy can eat the tomato sauces, because the proper way to prepare tomato sauce is you remove the skin and the seeds.
and then you cook it forever or something, right?
Yep.
But then you'll end up with histamine, so you get a new problem.
Yeah. I mean, and it's still a nightshade, but
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want anything to do with tomatoes. I'm very done with tomatoes. I never was that into it anyway. I was happy to hear that it's not that good for you because I don't really like them that much. All right. Well, I think that is all for today. I wanted to just, first of all, thank Dagmar for joining me. So shall we, we'll be on for the next one.
Yep.
You're free, even though you're doing some epic
I'll
travel.
be on the road, but I'm bringing my battery case with me.
Okay.
So, I can transmit from my vehicle, which will be
Okay.
fun.
Okay. Very good. That sounds awesome. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your weekend. It's very confusing that today is Friday, but that's kind of nice to have a Saturday, Sunday. I got my work cut out for me, lots going on. And for those of you that have been checking out Creator Code, I will repeat that the early bird is on only until the 29th. So this year is your last chance to get in at a full half of savings, and then it's going to go up as of the 30th. So come and check it out. And it's a really great opportunity to vision and create for the new year from a place that's not driven by fear. I think we're already knowing what that's like. But when you create from a place where you're not afraid, that's to me the real elixir of life that I can thrive on myself. I feel happy in that. So, all right, everybody. I promised I was going to get a link, and here is one. And I think that's all. You can always do a quiz at my website. If you've already done the quiz and you want to find out where you are on the path of purpose, then you can email me, beth@bethmartins.com, for a direct link to that quiz, because it won't let you sign up more than one time. And anything you want to share about yourself, what you're up to?
No, I just want to thank you for creating the space for this conversation, which is so rare, to be able to just in a relaxed manner, go contemplate the many pitfalls of this path, and the many things to look forward to also. So
And
yeah.
thank you, Dagmar. And we've had excellent feedback. So that really keeps me going. That enough, if somebody comes along and says, "Oh yeah, salmon is full of poison. Thank you for telling me," then I'm like, "Oh, great, that's awesome. You should be in the house of free will, by the way. That means you have an open mind." And that's another thing. If you're inspired to come and be part of our association that is growing and evolving, it's very humble, but I feel like we've got some of the most incredible minds in there. Law is a real subject again in the House of Free Will. We are chewing on the hidden history of English law, which
Mm,
nobody wants to study that stuff. Just like real health, nobody wants that, but
mhm.
rare souls do. And as far as I'm concerned, intelligent souls should keep going.
Yeah, yeah, and keep digging and, looking. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And so the last time I'm gonna see you for the new year is the 29th as well. I'm interviewing Dr. Jacob Lieberman, who's not awake, so I might need some help not offending him. But I think he's gonna be my first guest that I know is not awake, but he's
Oh,
awake.
okay.
He's awake in other ways, so we'll just let him off the hook.
Yeah, why not?
There you go. That's the new me talking.
All right, well, I look forward to seeing you in the next year.
Indeed. Lots
Yeah.
of love and happy embarking on your travels.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
See you
Bye.
next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, my true guide, Lord and supporter of all, forever free from identity. Be well, I'm dwelling in you. Be well, I am dwelling in you. Be well, I am dwelling in you. Vidrashkanumanta Shivarita Gupta Maheshwara Paramatme Ijabi Okto Deyasmin Purusha Bara Deyasmin Purusha Bara Deyasmin Purusha